All right, Chris, take it away.
Suzanne's Paparazzi Jewelry, 24/7 shopping available. 160920 is the code. Show her some love, like she showed us. K&A Custom Crafts on Facebook.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Coast to Coast Entertainment Network. I am your moderator, Ace, and of course, tonight we are joined by none other than, well, tonight she's going to go by J-Max Beard's #1 fan. And so right there for you. All right, welcome in. That's right. She is back. You see her again. She's known as the Vic. How you doing tonight?
Yeah. I am doing fantastic.
All right, and then, of course, we have J-Mac, the bearded one himself. He is here.
Woo-hoo!
J-Mac, how are you doing tonight? You're on mute. You're on mute, my man.
Well, since Vic is fantastic, I'm fantastic.
Absolutely right, because you guys have your rivalry going back and forth, so you got to continue that going, of course. So we got to keep that going.
One up me.
Oh, absolutely. He's got to one-up you. He's got to keep that crap going. So, and of course, Tim Fielder is saying, woo, woo, Sarge is here. So Sarge is in the house. And before we go ahead and get started, this is simply what I want to say. It's just a quick little rant here that is just driving me nuts. So it turned out that I was in Facebook jail because I stated a freaking opinion about somebody's team, that they came up and said something, and they asked me my opinion, and I told them my opinion about their team.
Yeah, a little spit on the camera.
And they reported me. They actually reported me, and I got put in Facebook jail because I stated a freaking opinion. You've got to be kidding me. If you're going to ask me for my opinion, why do you report me then? All I simply said was I said, your team sucks. And they classified it as bullying because I said their team sucks. Don't ask me for an opinion.
Well, I got kicked out of 15 groups on Facebook, so permanently. And do you want to know how I did that?
Because stating opinions.
Well, I stated a fact, but it wasn't an opinion. It was when Randy put on Facebook something about when people at a staff meeting talk too long and you want to kill them. I put on there that there's a few times going to a staff meeting with Randy I wanted to stab him, and they said that that's making a threat on another human, so they kicked me out of like 15 groups.
Yeah, it's dumb. It's dumb. You can't state opinions on Facebook. So please, guys, if you want to message me and tag me in a post and ask me for my opinion on Facebook, and I tell you my opinion about your team, you don't have to go and report me, okay? So let me just take it with I'm just telling you my personal opinion on your team, so don't take it at a personal level. If you want to come at me and say my team sucks, that's fine. I don't care. I'm not going to report you for it. All right, so anyway. Joanne is also here. Joanne's saying that she's also here. So, Joanne, how's it going? Hope you're having a good night. So with that, we have some lovely topics for you that we're going to be talking about tonight. Every week, everybody knows that one of the topics that we simply talk about is we talk about, top 5 players of any team in the NFL. Well, this week, we are going to be talking about the top 5 all-time best players of the New Orleans Saints. The all-time best New Orleans Saints. And obviously, before we get started, I will say I think we all know right now who's going to pretty much be #1 on everybody's list. I would be shocked if it was anybody different. But we're going to go with J-Max Beard's number one fan, the Vic. And Vic, we're going to go ahead and start with you. That's right. We're going to go ahead and start with you. You tell me, who's your top 5 New Orleans Saints of all time?
So normally we go by stats, right? As to who's the
Normally.
I went a little different. I went with the top 5 players that have meant the most to the New Orleans Saints.
No, that's a great way to go.
Yeah, I went with number 5, Steve Gleason. I don't know if anybody really knows about him. He was diagnosed with Lou Gehrig's disease, ALS. He played for the Saints through the 2006 season. He's a big inspiration, and he's just meant a lot to the Saints organization as far as just helping out and just being an inspiration to players and kids and families and people. So he's my number 5. Number 4, I went with Jimmy Graham. Just basically going back to the Katrina days. Afterwards, all the help he did with the city, and just him and the other guy on the list, obviously, just took the Saints to another level for the fans, and I think he was a big part of the resurgence of the New Orleans Saints. Unfortunately, he got traded away, but still, he's number 4. Number 5, I went with Morton Anderson. He's a kicker. He's the all-time leading scorer.
You mean 3? Or you actually mean 5?
I mean 3.
Okay.
Did I say 5?
Yeah, you said 5.
I don't know what I'm doing today. He was on the 80s and the 90s all-decade team, so he survived 2 decades of football. That's remarkable. He was known as Mr. Automatic. So he's number 3. Number 2, Archie Manning. Back in the day, he was Mr. Saint. He was a face of the franchise, number 2 pick overall in 1971, my birth year. Played 10 seasons. His stats weren't phenomenal. He was sacked over 300 and something odd times. But he's Archie Manning. He fathered Peyton and Eli, so that alone makes him a great player. No, not really. He went to 2 Pro Bowls, Offensive Player of the Year in '78, so Hall of Fame, Saints Hall of Fame in 1988 too. So, and number 1, Ricky Williams. Who doesn't vote for this guy, right? How is he? I'm kidding. It's Drew Brees. Anybody that doesn't have Drew Brees as the number 1 New Orleans Saint they suck. Yeah, and I want to stab them. Got them all in one, so don't ban me. So Drew Brees is number 1. He's just the all-around god. He's retired now. I'm gonna miss watching him. Gonna have to watch some stupid Jameis Winston dude probably play that I don't like. I miss Drew Brees already. So Drew Brees is number 1.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. And you know what? I am proud. I am proud of one name that you threw on this list that I seriously didn't know if anybody else was going to throw on this list. However, you put him at number 2, but I went ahead and put him at number 5, which was Archie Manning. I know I actually didn't know if anybody else was going to put him on there, but simply when you look at it, Vic, so the one part that I agreed with you on is, people tend to look at, the best players of all time and go, you have to go by stats. No, you got to throw that out the window, because Archie Manning meant so much to the Saints team. He at least tried to keep them at a little bit relevant, but it's hard for anybody to keep a team relevant when he's on his back almost 7 times every game. When you look at exactly. But the thing is, though, is that he couldn't stay healthy because, as many times as he got sacked, and he couldn't have a long career as many times as he got sacked. This Saints team was so bad that Archie Manning, he couldn't do anything. He was always running for his life. And so you have to go with Archie Manning. You have to. And then number 4, Marcus Colston. when you think about, one of the best Saints receivers of all time, you definitely have to go with Marcus Colston. He was their number one guy for numerous years. In 146 games, he caught 711 passes for 9,759 yards and 72 touchdowns. So awesome numbers for Marcus Colston. Number 3, Willie Roaf. Roaf. Yep. Willie Roaf was another one of those other guys that when you look at it, he made the Pro Bowl 11 times in his career. 11 times. Pretty much every year you're like, Willie Roaf, he's going. It was like an automatic lock for the Pro Bowl every year. And I know, people talk about the Pro Bowls and say it doesn't mean as much because it's a popularity contest and everything else. I get it, but you have to give the guy credit, 11 times. And then number 2, what's funny is, Vic, you said Ricky Williams, right?
Yeah.
I did throw Ricky in this, but I actually went with Ricky Jackson, the greatest Saints defensive player to ever play. Like, it's not even close when you talk about the best Saints defender ever. It's Ricky Jackson. And then number 1, is there really any freaking doubt who the number 1 Saints player is of all time? It's not even close. It's Drew Brees. I mean, there's nobody that could come on the show right now and tell you any different that Drew Brees is not the best Saint to ever put on a uniform. He's the one who kept this team relevant for as long as they have. Now what's going to happen, Vic? I completely agree with you. Are the Saints going to be as relevant now that Drew Brees is gone? Definitely not. Definitely not. The Saints are going to take a nosedive. They're not going to stay relevant. Drew Brees is this organization. He's now gone. And so, J-Mac, I'm going to turn this over to you.
Well, I want to ask if y'all are cheating off my paper.
Yes, I'm reading off the mirror in the background.
Yeah, right? Something. Well, at 5, I had Archie Manning. By the way, he had 156 career interceptions, which is less career interceptions than Troy Aikman. I just want to throw that out there because Troy Aikman's a Hall of Famer. Archie Manning's not. And Namath. And Terry Bradshaw, for that matter. The list goes on. But just saying, the one I wanted to throw out there was Troy Aikman.
The love affair continues.
He's got less career interceptions than Troy Aikman. So, number 4, probably surprised some people here. I have Steve Gleason, just from what he meant. Like that play in the Super Bowl will never be forgotten, ever. Like that will stand in lore, even for that one play. If that makes him one of the best players ever for the Saints, that will always be remembered. Number 3, I actually had Willie Roaf as well. The guy was the best offensive lineman the Saints have ever had, I think, no doubt. And again, like A said, 3 Pro Bowls.
11.
I'm sorry. He was number 3, not 3 Pro Bowls. Yeah. So 11 Pro Bowls. He was named to the 1990s and the 2000s All-Decade team. So one of the few guys to do that twice in their careers. He did end up going and playing for the Kansas City Chiefs for 4 seasons after playing with the Saints. So he made the Pro Bowl 11 times and then went and made the Pro Bowl again with the Chiefs. So think about that. That's kind of cool. Anyway, number 2. Anyone know where I'm going with this one? Number 2.
Number two. If because oftentimes we think alike here, so I'm assuming you're going to go with Ricky Jackson.
I'm not going with Ricky Jackson actually on number 2.
Don't tell me you're going with Jimmy Graham.
No.
Don't tell me you're going with Marcus Colston.
Nope. No, not
Alvin
Marcus
Kamara.
Colston. No.
No, you can't put him up there yet.
Cam Jordan.
Number 2, I'm going with Morton Anderson. Just because, again, he was Mr. Clutch. He meant more to that franchise when he played there than any other guy that played there at that time, including Aaron Brooks and all the other okay guys that played there. And number 1, there's no question. We could go on about the accolades. Drew Brees, 14 seasons with them, started 216 games, won 133 games, threw for 65,000 yards, 467 touchdowns. He led them to a Super Bowl. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer. He'll be in the Hall of Fame in 5 years. The list goes on. We don't need to sit here and keep talking about Drew Brees, but he's the top Saint of all time. And unless somebody does something spectacular for the next 15 years in New Orleans, he'll continue to be the top Saint of all time.
So let me ask you really quick a question about Drew Brees. So in your opinion about Drew Brees, where do you actually rank him on the all-time list for quarterbacks? Because he's had numerous records as a quarterback, and I've said top 5, and basically people roasted me for it. But I've got him sitting in. How do you not have him in the top 5? But J-Mac, I'll start with you. Where do you have Drew Brees all time on your list?
7.
So you don't have him in your top 5.
No, I don't think he had the arm to be top 5 all time. But he was a great quarterback. He was smart. That's why he was able to do what he did. I'll say that. Top 7. He's 7.
But there was times, too, he did a lot with very little. Like, he did not have
you're right.
all those receivers that a lot of guys have. I mean,
he earned every single yard he put up and every single touchdown he ever got. So I got him at 7.
And I'll tell you what, if there was one quarterback that if a game was on the line, give it to Drew Brees. I'll tell you what, man, that guy was like surgical, just pure surgical every time. 30 seconds left, you give him the ball. They're down by 2, you give it to him at the 20. That sucker's going to find a way to go down there and get you that field goal. That dude's going to do it. So, Vic, where do you rank Drew Brees on the all-time list?
Top 4.
Top 4, okay. Mm-hmm. So you're with me, definitely top 5.
Oh, yeah. No, top 4.
I'm glad that somebody else agrees. I'm glad that somebody else agrees with me that Brees has to be in the top 5 because I completely agree with you on that. Like he has to be for his career accolades and everything else. It's amazing, completely amazing. All right, so Vic. All right, so. Now that's all we have to say on that topic. So now we go to our next topic. I love it, Vic. I love it. Just to tell you. So our next topic that we're going to talk about. And let me throw this out there right now. Big B's top 5. He said number 5 he had Morton Anderson. Number 4 was Marcus Colston. Number 3 was Willie Roaf. Number 2 was Ricky Jackson, and number 1 was Drew Brees. So he also had Morton Anderson up there too. All right, and now we go to number 2, which now we're going to talk a little bit about the MLB. And man, I heard that, whoever that was. So, so when we go to it, we're going to talk about the MLB. Who you guys think are like the best MLB hitters of all time. And I don't know if you guys did like a top 5, a top 3 or whatever, but I know for me, I chose my favorite 3, but J-Mac, I'll start with you. So I don't know exactly what size list you actually made on this, but.
I don't know. I didn't really think I had a list. I had 4 guys in mind, so.
Okay.
We'll just go with that.
Okay, then what 4 guys do you have in mind?
And in no particular order, by the way, for me. So the Big Hurt, Frank Thomas, one of the best hitters ever, without steroids. He's got to be in there for me. Fred McGriff was one of the best hitters of all time. And then I had Tony Gwynn, because how can you not have Tony Gwynn on this list of the best hitters of all time? And number 1, Hammer and Hank Aaron. The guy didn't just hit home runs. I mean, his career batting average is over 300. He drove in, I don't even know how many runs, 1,200 and something?
No, he drove in.
I'm sorry, 2,105. I should know that. 2,105. So, 2,105, 755 home runs. He had a career batting average over 300. And he did it consistently for 20 years. He never fell off. So that was definitely super important. And the same with Tony Gwynn. I think those guys are 1 and 1A. I don't think Gwynn didn't have the power, but Gwynn was hitting 340 in a season. Like,
Right.
That's ludicrous.
Vic. While you had your time off, I was sharing some stuff with the group once in a while, and there was a stat that said that for Tony Gwynn to fall below 300 for his career, he would have had to go 0 for his last 1,359 at bats.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So that's my guys.
Yeah, no, and J-Mac, I do want to say on the Hank Aaron one, you were really, really close on RBIs. You were only just a little bit off, but you were really, really close. It was actually a higher. But so I actually did a top 3, and the third one I went with was Joe DiMaggio, because Joe DiMaggio has one of the records that I don't think will probably ever be broken. Was that ridiculous 56 game hitting streak. I don't know if anybody will ever even touch that. And he was a career 325 batting average. Another one of the guys that could just do everything. And keep in mind, he played 13 seasons, but he did miss others though, and that was simply because he took some time off to actually serve in World War II. So he could have actually done more. And I actually would have liked to see his accolades has he played more seasons. But that 56 one, I don't see anybody breaking that anytime soon. 56 consecutive games hitting streak, that's ridiculous. I know that one year Dan Uggla went on it was a 30 game hit.
Why are you bringing that guy up? Why you bring up Dan Uggla?
Because I was just saying because it was the closest I've seen. Because it was the closest I've seen, and it was a 30 game hitting streak.
But comparing Joe DiMaggio to Dan Uggla,
I know it's not even close.
Joe DiMaggio won a 56. Dan Uggla went 33 in a row, but Dan Uggla raised his batting average from 194 to 213.
I know it was horrible. But I just brought it up because it was the closest I've seen on a hitting streak. And so I'm just saying I don't think you'll see it. Christy Wilson is also here too. And Christy Wilson is saying no one will come even remotely close to it. No. And you know what? I completely agree with you on that one. And the number 2, I also went with Hank Aaron on that too. Hank Aaron was sitting at number 2 because J-Mac is just like you said. Yeah, people thought about him as a home run hitter, but Hank Aaron was more than just a home run guy. He's got the all-time record for RBIs at 2,297. He's got the all-time record for total bases, which is 6,856. The guy walked, the guy hit, the guy. I mean, Hank Aaron did it all. So he's possibly it was hard for me to choose between 1 and 2 because I put Hank Aaron at number 2, but number 1. Well, and if you want to know, his all-time career batting average was 305. But number 1, I actually went with Tony Gwynn because I just feel like when people and this is the thing, when you look up lists about where people rank Tony Gwynn, I've seen people have him as low as 33, as the 33rd best hitter of all time. And I was like, how do you have him as the 33rd best hitter of all time? That is crazy. When you look at this guy's numbers, his career average was a 338. that is completely ridiculous. And he's the last one to almost hit 400 in a season. There was one season, which was in 1994. He had a 394.
394.
A 394 in one season.
4 hits, by the way. They said he was 4 hits away from 400.
If this tells you anything about how good of a hitter this guy was, They said this guy faced Greg Maddox 426 times, and he never struck out.
It's
Never.
impressive.
He
So I
never
won't-
struck out against Maddox.
You know, I'm gonna
That's
look it up real
crazy.
quick. But while we're talking about this, I gotta give you like.
And yeah,
Go ahead.
and he actually hit. It was some ridiculous like he hit like a 333 off Maddox or something like that. Like this dude just owned Maddox, and it wasn't only Maddox, but he owned Glavin, he owned Smoltz. Like this was
Glavin-
an all around hitter.
Glavin did brag about this on the game one night, that he was the only one of the big three, Smoltz, Maddox, and Glavin, to actually strike out Tony Gwynn.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what,
He was pretty high on that day.
Every time though Atlanta faced Tony Gwynn, I hated it. I hated it because I'm like, you're not striking this guy out. You're just not doing it. There was just no way. And so Tim Fielder is also saying one of two records that won't be broken. Cal Ripken Jr. Hank Aaron changed his batting stance. He used to hit having his hands crisscrossed. So yeah, another one. You're definitely right. Cal Ripken Jr.'s consecutive streak out there, game streak. Yeah, that won't be broken. That was over 2,000. And then Christy Wilson saying, "What about the man who holds the record for the most hits?" and Pete Rose. But you know what? Maybe it's on the VIX list. We never know. We'll find out. It could be on our list. But we're talking about Tony Gwynn quick, and I know J-Mac wanted to say something about Tony Gwynn, so go ahead.
Well, I just want to. So think about this in today's game. That's all I want you guys to do for a minute. So Tony Gwynn had 9,288 at bats in his career, almost 9,300. He struck out 434 times.
Yeah, that's
in 20 years. He struck out 434 times.
Dansby Swanson does that in a year.
Well, you have some guys now who strike out over 200 times in a season. So
his name is Dansby Swanson.
Well, not that much. Okay, but
he's on pace for like 150.
Well, no, I know that, but I'm saying though, you have guys now who are going to strike out over 200 times a year, like Adam Dunn, Alfonso Soriano, who did it. You know, it's you have those guys who do it. Tim Fielder is also saying Ichiro could have, and he's talking about the consecutive game streak. I don't know. I don't think Ichiro could have done that. But anyway, Vic, we're going to go ahead and turn this one over to you.
All right. So I have top four. No particular order. Maybe a little bit. Number 4, he played for the Blue Jays, and I hated the Blue Jays in the 90s.
Can I take a guess?
Blue Jays. No.
Okay.
Let me finish my spiel first.
Okay.
And even though I hated the Blue Jays and I hated him, he had the sweetest and most easy left-handed swing that I have ever seen. So if you would please, who am I speaking of?
Joe Carter.
No!
No, you're not.
Joe Carter was right-handed.
Yeah.
Olerud.
Oh, gotcha. Yes, you're right.
I hated him because he played for the Blue Jays, but then he played for the Mariners, so he was okay. But his Blue Jay time, hated him. But his swing was just pure magic. Number 2, Tony Gwynn. Well, I don't say number 2, but the second one on my list is Tony Gwynn because of all the obvious reasons. I mean, I don't have anything else to add to what you guys have already put out there about him. Number 3, Pete Rose. Hit leader. So he's got to be good at that, right? He leads, why he's not in the Hall of Fame still is just total crap to me. And then, but whatever. Let's put steroid users in the Hall of Fame, but not Pete Rose. And number 1, and this was on purpose, hammering Hank Aaron because he was a Brave, and that's all I need to say about it.
I figured that we were going to all have Hank Aaron on there. Now, the one that actually surprised me that I did not think you were going to put on there was Olerud. I didn't even really think about that. I wasn't even thinking that anybody would have them on their list, to be perfectly honest.
I know my baseball.
No, and that's fine. I'm just saying, I was just shocked that you had him on there. Like, some people would have put like Griffey, but there was so many guys you could have put out there. This is just how I felt, But even Christy Wilson is saying Hank Aaron, aka the GOAT, because Hank Aaron's the one who changed the game.
Hey, so you know how we were talking about how Tony Gwynn struck out 434 times in 20 seasons?
Yeah.
By the way?
Yeah.
So, by comparison, let's look at some of these real quick, because I looked up most times struck out in a season by a batter. So just to give you... So
Adam
this is only...
probably most of them.
Yeah, this is only 4 seasons. Adam Dunn, 189. Adam Dunn, 199. Adam Dunn, 222. So in 3 seasons, he struck out more times than Tony Gwynn in 20. Almost in 2 seasons.
Right.
By the way, Mark Reynolds has the record for the Arizona Diamondbacks. He struck out 223 times in a 162-game season.
He had the golden sombrero a couple times.
Oh, yeah. You almost could have put Andrew Jones in that conversation.
I know. So, by the way, Mark Reynolds, back-to-back seasons, 2008 he struck out 204 times, and 2009 he struck out 223. So he struck out 7 less times than Tony Gwynn did in 20 years.
That's fantastic.
That's insane. That's just crazy to me.
Yeah, and that's why I said you're seeing that more and more now, because it's all about the long ball now. It's no longer about average. So now people are trying to kill it, and so people are starting to strike out a heck of a lot more now. It's no longer about that. It's a different era now. It's definitely a different era. But
Definitely, yeah.
Definitely. So now we'll go ahead and we'll jump into our third topic of the night, which is we're going to talk a little bit about...
By the way, here's your guy, Adam. Dan Ugla in 3 straight seasons. 175, 171, and 171. 3 straight years.
Consistent. At least he was consistent.
He's consistent. Consistent. But... So
he laughed about it all the way to the bank.
Right, exactly. He got a massive contract, so what does he care? But anyway, so we go into our third topic, which is about Simone Biles. Like, when you see it, there's been a lot of mixed reactions. But people have been absolutely going nuts about this, saying, you know what, this is disrespecting the country because she has decided to opt out and not run when she feels like, if she runs, she's putting the country in a worse place, and she feels like they have a better chance to win gold if she's not there. And so it's been crazy how people have actually been acting about this. And Vic, you said you had a lot to say, so you know what? I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to let you run with this one and let you lead off in this. So you go ahead and take it away and tell us what you feel about this whole Simone Biles situation, that everyone just completely overblowing the situation. Just so everybody knows, she's a gymnast, and she decided to...
She's the GOAT gymnast.
Yeah, definitely the GOAT of the gymnast, but she decided to opt out because she felt like her team would have a better chance. So Vic, you go ahead and run away with this.
If I get too out of control, just mute me, reel me back in, because this pisses me off.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Twitter, I read Twitter just for amusement, for duck stuff or whatever. And I read a statement from her, and the last sentence of that statement broke my heart. It basically said, "I hope America still loves us," after she pulled out of the events. I watched her do the vault where she did had the rough landing. She pulled out for mental health reasons, be it anxieties, pressure, stress, whatever. It's not our business what it is. She doesn't owe us a friggin' thing. if she doesn't feel comfortable running and jumping and doing bizarre, dangerous things with her body, and she doesn't feel comfortable and like she's not 120,000% focused on that, she could seriously hurt herself to where she could never do gymnasts again. So she made a choice, and I 100% back her on this choice, along with a lot of other people that I've read. She took a step back and she's like, I can't do it. I can't give my best. And if I can't give my best, I don't need to be out there, because I could, 1, hurt myself, 2, hurt my team. Because she could, hit a landing and fall or drop off the bar or do something horrible and, cost her team the win. So she made a choice to step away and she's still there supporting her team. You can hear with the stadium empty, you can hear her cheering for her team. She's getting water. She's helping get chalk. She's there to support them. Her team has no problem with this. It's these arrogant, narcissistic, fat, unemployed a-holes that sit behind a mic, sit behind a keyboard, and I've seen them call her a unpatriotic. She's a sociopath. She's a selfish sociopath. That's what they've called her. Simply because she's chosen not to possibly injure herself to where she doesn't have a career after the Olympics. And it frustrates me to no end that assholes like this are out there in the world making judgments about someone they don't even know. I mean, she's 24, and she has been through so much in those 24 years. She's won more medals than these guys have even possibly had sex with women for. And that was a ding because they're stupid and I hate them. She's also the face of sexual abuse. She's out there, and it just irritates me so much that, and it's like when the whole thing happened with Naomi Osaka. Mental health is important. If you can't focus and give 120,000%, then you need to not do it. You need to step away. Like if I'm feeling stressed out, I take a day off of work. I take a day just to, but I'm not facing the country. I'm not facing every other person out there with a smartphone and a Twitter account. She owes us nothing. And she's given so much already. Leave her alone. Let her be. Let her get better so that she can come back and be a stronger force. So I hope these douchebags,
So we do have a few comments here really quick. So Isaiah is saying Clay Travis, and Christy Wilson is saying the reaction to her withdrawing has been vicious on social media. Isaiah is saying preach, screw Clay Travis, and then I'm saying hey, and then she shared this too, and then Joanne is also saying I agree, Vic. I don't think people understand how difficult the Olympics are for these young athletes. Without the direct support of their family and fans, it's unlike any other competition they have participated in. And you know what, Joanne? I completely agree with that. And now, even going back to what you've been saying, Vic, when you come to the whole Simone Biles and opting out and everything, I even read somebody who left a comment that said, you know what, all the money that the country has spent on her training for gymnastics, they're like, she should have to pay it back. And I'm like, are you freaking kidding me?
She has her own gym. She doesn't need people's money to train.
Yeah, so I'm like, are you kidding me?
Back
this is
when you were
ridiculous.
24, how mature and focused were you when you were 24 years old? I don't remember when I was 24.
I'm just saying,
I
like,
was on a couch passed out somewhere.
This is probably one of the dumbest things. Like, think about this, okay? This wasn't only like a big thing with Simone Biles. Think about a few years back when Andrew Luck decided to retire from football because he came out and said he was having mental health issues. He needed to get his mind right, and he hated going to rehab after every season, having surgeries, physical therapy, and everything. He was tired of it. He opted out, and people just completely just destroyed him for it. I mean, they came out and like just verbally attacked Luck and said, "This is bull crap. You're retiring at such a young age. Blah 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 blah. You have this contract." I mean, they attacked him. They're attacking Simone Biles. I don't think people completely understand. It's their life. It's their life. If they have mental health issues, they have the right to opt out and say, you know what? I can't do it. I can't do it. I need to take some me time. I need to get my mind right.
Yeah. I mean, imagine if she had kept going.
Mind right and healthy. Exactly.
Hurt herself.
Exactly.
Injured
you
herself.
don't know. Exactly. You
It's
just don't. You don't
ludicrous.
know. But J-Mac, we haven't heard from you on this topic yet. What is your thoughts on this whole Simone Biles and people overreacting because she decided to opt out?
I don't know what's left to say.
I mean, do you agree though that people should be destroying her over this?
You're talking to, by the way, you're asking that question to a person who believes humans have the right to do whatever they want to do if it's not affecting me. So
yeah, exactly right.
How is someone opting out of the Olympics? How is that affecting me as a person today? Where I live, where I'm sitting right now talking to you guys, how is that affecting my daily life?
It doesn't.
It
doesn't at all.
It doesn't. So, good for her. That's a choice you made. Congratulations. If that's what makes you happy, and at the end of the day you're happy with your decision that you made, more power to you.
And this would kind of be like me when I was going through what I was going through. I had, my mental health was not good. And this would be like you guys attacking me and saying I'm selfish and not, don't want to be a part of it because I chose to step away and get my mind right. It's the same thing. Only I'm not on a grand stage on national TV with, millions and millions of people watching me do flips and jumps and, ungodly, unhuman things with my body in the air. Speaking of, the judges at the Olympics are just stupid, saying they can't score her correctly because she's so far above the competition. That's ridiculous. But anyway, it's kind of like you guys judging me for taking time to step away and get my mind right. And it's I hate it. I hate that she has to go through it, but she's got a lot of support behind her, and I hope she comes out of this okay and bigger and stronger and proves it, that the time off was well needed and she's better than ever.
Because it's just like you were saying, when you came back, we welcomed you back with open arms. We said, you know what, you come back, and I guarantee when Simone Biles says, you know what, I'm ready to come back, the USA is going to be like, you know what, come back. We're going to welcome you with open arms. It's the same thing. You have to respect a person's when they need to step away, because definitely of mental health, they got to be able to take care of it. They have to get their mind right. That is why there's so many suicides around the world, because people go, well, they shouldn't be thinking about themselves. They need to be helping others. No, people need to help themselves before they can help others first. It's like
if your plane's crashing, the mom needs to put her mask on before she puts it on her kid.
Absolutely. It's Maslow's hierarchy of basic needs. Maslow's hierarchy of basic needs. Everybody knows you must help yourself before you can help others. And she's trying to help herself. And you know what? That's perfect.
It is perfect. And Joanne, thanks for the comment, but I have to tell you, by you saying, but the problem is that she's not happy, she has to worry if America still loves her. No, she doesn't.
She doesn't. She doesn't. She doesn't need to worry if America loves her. It doesn't matter. It's what you feel about yourself. It's what's in here about yourself. That's all you need to care about, is how you feel. You shouldn't care about what other people think about you. It doesn't matter. You have to do what's right for you. It all comes from right here. It's about what makes you happy.
And the fact that she even thinks that she has to, if America still loves her, that's ridiculous.
I know who I am.
I love her more because she's doing this, because she did this.
Exactly.
She had the nerve and the balls to step up and say, I need to think about me right now. This isn't about anybody but me.
And when somebody comes out and says, you know what, this person might come out in the NFL and they might be like, okay, this person's the next Peyton Manning, this person's the next Tom Brady. But you know what? When it comes to anything,
much pressure.
Yeah, but when it comes to anything, I don't want to be compared to anybody else. I don't want to be the second anybody else. I want to be the first me. That's what I want to be, the first me. I don't need to be anybody else. If it's about, hey, I'm happy with being me. And Joanne, I get what you're saying. Is that you're right? She doesn't have to, but the point is that she is worried about it, and I get it. But she doesn't need to worry about that. She doesn't need to. She needs to brush it off and just do what she needs to do. That's it. Like, that's pretty much it. So, yeah. I don't know, Vic, if you have anything else you have to say about it. J-Mac, I don't know if you have to say anything else about it or not, but
no.
Just, I mean, if anybody out there's having mental concerns or
take a break.
Mental health, and the easiest thing that I found out is you just take a step back and you think, how can I make this better? Is there anything I can do? No, I just got to wait out the storm. I just got to think of myself. I got to put myself first, take care of myself. Then I can go about my life. So if you feel you can't do that, get help. I mean, find someone, say, hey, I need help. And it doesn't make you weak, doesn't make you anything bad or negative. It's actually one of the strongest things you could do is ask for help.
Absolutely. J-Mac, we're going to jump to you because this is going to be your topic now. This is the J-Mac Spotlight player. So J-Mac, go ahead.
Well, tonight we're not going to talk about a particular player. Something we referenced earlier, and I thought it was cool, so I looked some stuff up while we're sitting here. And tonight we're going to talk about strikeouts. Golden sombreros and platinum sombreros. If anyone's curious what those mean.
I love the sombrero.
A golden sombrero. A golden sombrero is when anyone strikes out 4 times in a game. So by the way, nope, it's 4.
No, it's 4. Wow. The hat trick is 3.
The hat trick is silver. The silver is.
By the way, does anyone know who the all-time leader is in golden sombreros?
PJ Upton.
Nope.
No,
Dan Uggla. Adam Dunn.
If I had to take it, yeah, I was gonna say if I had to take it, if I had to make a guess, it would be either Adam Dunn or Mark Reynolds. Like those would be like my 2 top guesses.
Well, Mark Reynolds is 6th all time, actually, believe it or not.
Wow.
And Adam Dunn is 4th all time.
Hold on. So let me think of somebody else who struck out an astronomical amount of times in their career, because I know there's quite a few of them who have.
I'll give you this clue. Adam Dunn is 6th, and Mark Reynolds is, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, Mark Reynolds is 8th. So the 2nd and the 4th place players are active players.
Wow.
Yeah, that tells you a lot.
Active players. Well, when you think about it now, like active players that actually struck out a lot.
They got to be old.
Chris Davis.
Chris Davis is number 2 all time.
Yeah, I was gonna say. So Chris Davis would definitely be there because I know when he had a few good. Chris Davis was the guy who could get you 30 home runs a year, but he'd strike out an astronomical amount of times too. So Chris Davis is definitely one of those guys that definitely has to be in that conversation. And then the other one, so yeah, Chris Davis was there.
Is Chris Davis still active?
Yes, he is.
Yes.
Is he on a minor league team?
Texas Rangers, close enough.
But pool host, it's not him, right?
No, it's not. So, number 1 all time. By the way, he's only 1 ahead of Chris Davis. So Chris Davis will probably have this record by the time he retires. And if he doesn't, number 4 on the list will, because he's still young. So, number 1 on the list all time is Ryan Howard.
You know what? I should have said him, but I didn't even think about it.
And number 3 on the list is Reggie Jackson, so he did it 23 times. Number 4 on the list is Giancarlo Stanton.
Oh, Giancarlo
Wow.
Stanton, yes. Giancarlo Stanton.
Wow.
He's already done it 21 times in his
Yeah,
career.
but I actually wouldn't have
Jeez.
even thought about that.
Yeah. And then Jim Thome is number 5. He did it 20 times. And Joey Gallo for the Texas Rangers is 9th on the
Yankees.
all-time list already.
He's
Oh,
a
yeah,
Yankee.
he's a Yankee now. But Joey Gallo has done it 17 times already in his
Jeez,
career.
and he's he's like what, 5-6 years in?
So, by the way, if you're wondering what a platinum sombrero is, that's 5 strikeouts in a game. And you're wondering who holds the record for that all time. Well,
Chris Davis.
that dubious honor does actually belong to Mr. Adam Dunn, who struck out in 5 times in a game 5 times in his career.
Oh my God.
And there's more. Oh, there's more. You might ask, what's the all-time Major League record for strikeouts in a game? Anyone curious?
I would probably, it's got to be 5 or 6.
I'm gonna go 8. Extra innings.
It's 6, actually.
Oh.
Adam was close. And that dubious honor belongs to Alex Gonzalez. In 1998 for the Toronto Blue Jays, he went 0 for 7 with 6 strikeouts.
Oh my God.
And Jeff Jenkins for the Milwaukee Brewers. In a 17-inning game, he went 0 for 8 and struck out 6 times. Yeah, pretty bad. By the way, the minor league record is 8.
That's what I was thinking.
So, kind of crazy. Think about all those strikeouts. You add all those strikeouts out, by the way. I did quick math in my head, and that means that, what's his name? Ryan Howard, in 27 times, struck out 4 times in a game. That means in 27 games in his career, he's struck out 108 times in 27 games. That's crazy. What's even crazier, though, is that Adam Dunn struck out 25 times in 5 games.
Yeah, that's...
I think I could at least foul the ball off enough, just swinging the bat whenever they started to throw the ball.
Yeah, I'm saying something, right?
So we have some comments that are strolling in now, so we're gonna hit these shows. So Amy says, "Great show, guys." So thank you for that, Isaiah. So I do want to say, thank you and congratulations to our brother brand of MI6. We're gonna throw a shout out to them. They have just surpassed the 100K viewer mark. So congratulations to MI6. If anybody gets a chance, please check them out. They are our brother brand. We have a partnership with them. So you'll see us over there, them over here. So congratulations to MI6. It's a pleasure working with you guys. We love it. Thank you very much. And congrats on that, guys, brother. All right, so then we have Isaiah who's saying, yes, Ryan Howard. So I think he kind of knew it too. So Isaiah is also saying, how many strikeouts will the quartet of Judge, Stanton, Sanchez, and Gallo have the rest of the season? Because if anybody realizes, yes, the Yankees today traded for Joey Gallo off the Texas Rangers, which everybody was making a big deal, but the dude's batting at 220, and so
yeah. By the way, I looked up the leaders this year, and now we just surpassed the 100-game mark. Correct?
Yeah.
We all know that we just surpassed the. So Aaron Judge has struck out 104 times this year, and Giancarlo Stanton has struck out 102. So you're asking about that quartet? They might hit 800 this year.
It's pretty bad. Speaking of baseball now. Speaking of baseball.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, we're actually jumping to our final topic of the night here, which is basically just our little GM game here. So Chris, you might want to pull yourself on the screen up here since you're part of this now. Okay, J-Mac, we go ahead and we start with you because you know what? Since you were kind of in the lead, I think, you and Chris were kind of tied. I think Vic was there, and then I was there, and then Brandon was in last place.
Yeah.
But
I dropped a point. I got 18 now.
so you dropped a point, okay?
Yep, I gained nothing because Red Sox are still in first place. The Astros are still in first place. Then the Twins are in last place. So, yep, that's my 11 points in the American League. 11 points. Then we go to the National League. Let's go talk about the National League, should we?
Let's not.
Where the Mets, the team I drafted, unfortunately, is in first place, and they have 5 points. But then we come to my other two teams, the Pirates and the Diamondbacks. So I still have 7 in the National League. That hasn't moved in forever, by the way.
Yeah, if this tells you how bad the Diamondbacks are, the Diamondbacks went in to play the Texas Rangers when they were on a 12-game losing streak, and Texas beat them. And I'm like, oh my God. So how many points do you currently have, J-Mac?
18.
18. So J-Mac's in at 18. Chris, how many points do you have?
This week I have 24 points.
24?
Christ.
How the heck do you have 20?
I believe so. Okay, in the American League, I have the Tampa Bay Rays, correct?
Okay, so
Second
that's
place.
4 points. Okay, that's
Yeah,
4
that's second
points.
place. The White Sox are in first place.
No, I've got the White Sox.
Okay.
Nice try, Chris.
No,
Nice try.
I believe he has the Indians, though.
I have the
Okay.
Indians.
so that's
No, she has the Indians.
I have the Indians.
Detroit. That's right, Detroit.
Yes, Detroit.
Okay,
so you have 3 points, so that's 7. Okay.
7. Okay, and we move on to the National League.
No,
We
the
have-
West. The West. What team do you have?
Oh,
What team do
the
you have in
A's.
the West?
We
The
have
A's.
the A's, which are in
Okay, so
second place.
That's 4 points, so that's 11. Okay.
Okay. And then on the NL East, we have
Mhm.
the Braves, which are in third place, so that's 3 points.
That's 14.
Okay. NL Central, I believe now I know I had a Chicago team. I think it was the Cubs on this one.
Okay, the Cubs. So
Yeah,
you would be
that's
sitting at 2 points, so that's 16.
okay. And then Giants are in first place.
Yeah, you have the Giants. So you're sitting at 21. Okay.
Okay.
So he's sitting at
Okay.
21 points. Vic, how many points do you have?
Oh, lordy. The Rays are in second, so that's 4. Indians are in second, so that's 8. Mariners are in third, so that's 11. National League, Nationals are 4, so that's what, 2? So that's
Yeah.
13.
Mhm.
Cincinnati's second, so that's 4, so that's 15.
That's
And
17.
Yeah, you're at
17.
17.
Padres are third, so that's 20.
So Vic's in at 20, and then I'm still the same as last week, and I'm sitting at 19. So currently, the standings as it goes is you have Chris in first, you have Vic in second, I'm in third, J-Max in fourth, and then Brandon's still in fifth. He's laying in the weeds. So when you look at the teams that Brandon actually has, when it comes to his teams, so he's got Baltimore. So Baltimore's in last. So that's a point there.
I can count his score on one hand.
He's got the Royals, and the Royals I believe are in fourth place. So yeah, so
Fourth, so that's 3.
so he's got the Royals. Okay, and
Okay.
yeah, so
So
3.
3 points total.
He's got the Angels, which I do believe are in fourth also.
Yeah,
So
that's 5.
6. Oh, 5. You're right. 5.
5. That's 5 points. And then he's got the Phillies, which are in second place. So
9.
So that brings it up to 9. And then he's got the Cardinals, which are in third place.
12.
So 12. And then he's got the Rockies, which are in fourth place.
14.
So 14. Yeah.
14.
So he's sitting at 14 points. And his comment on that was...
He can't even drive yet.
He's like, my team sucks. So that's... And it's crazy, though, because you would think that J-Mac would actually be doing worse because he's got the freaking Pirates and the Diamondbacks. So you would think that he would be doing worse, but he actually got a mixture to where he actually got a few first-place teams. So it's kind of helpful. Oh, yeah, and don't forget, you have the freaking Twins, too. So
Oh, yeah, I know. No, it's weird. I have 3 first-place teams and 3 last-place teams.
Wow.
Yeah, that's crazy. It's crazy. So as long as his and the thing is with his last place teams, I don't foresee any of his last place teams getting out of last place.
No. So I went back and looked at this. The Pirates have been in last place in the NL Central for 71 consecutive days.
And they are currently 11 games out of fourth place.
And the Diamondbacks have been in 5th place in the NL West for longer than that. So
and they're 13 games out of fourth place. So you have 2 teams that it's not even close. Like, it's not even close.
The Diamondbacks are 32 and a half games out of first place.
Shut up.
That's the biggest deficit of any team.
But
even bigger than the Orioles.
But they're 13 games back out of fourth place, so all J-Mac has to know
they have 32 wins, by the way, the Diamondbacks do, and the Giants have 37 losses. Okay.
Wow.
They've lost 71 games already. The Diamondbacks have.
It's amazing.
I know. So, I mean...
First pick in the draft. Woo! Then they're going to trade him to Atlanta.
Yeah.
Like they traded Dansby.
Oh yeah, that worked out for us, didn't it? He's only going to strike out.
He has his moments. He's good defensively. He's like a Rafael Belliard kind of, but with more power.
So if it tells you anything about J-Mac's last place teams, well, the good news for you, J-Mac, is that in the last 10 games that the Diamondbacks have played, they're 6-4.
Woo!
It doesn't do much for you when you're 14 games out of 4th place.
That is true.
You could win 13 games in a row, and if the other team won 2, you're still in last place.
That's sad.
I have an interesting fact. Interesting fact. Since the All-Star break, the Atlanta Braves have 1 loss, 1 loss, 1 loss, 1 loss. They haven't won 2 games in a row or lost 2 games in a row. They alternate. So if they lost today, they're going to win tomorrow. And we'll pick up a game.
Hopefully.
Then lose a game. Then pick up a game. Then lose
Shut
a game.
up, Chris.
All right. Well, anyway, that brings us to the end of our show. So right now, Chris is currently sitting in first place, the lucky sucker.
Lucky son of a gun.
All right, so, and everybody keep in mind that there will be no Sports Minute on Saturday. We will not be here on Saturday for Sports Minute. So if you missed this episode today, you can actually re-watch it on Saturday, as we will re-air this one on Saturday. So you can watch it again on Saturday.
Because we'll be tanked!
Yes, so with that, J-Mac, you got 30 to 45 seconds to go ahead and wrap up whatever it is you want to say.
Wrap it up. That's what she said.
Wrap it. That's what she said. By the way, special episode of the Four Bros radio show tomorrow night. We're going to do that tomorrow night, and then we're going to replay it Friday. So check that out, because we won't be here Friday either. I'll be tanked that night as well. And then I just want to thank everyone for watching the special yesterday with Paparazzi and K&A Custom Crafts. We had over 100 viewers on that just alone, so amazing to you guys. Thank you very much for watching that and supporting them. Get your stuff from them. They do some great work. Both of them do. Make sure that you support them as much as you support us, and good night to y'all.
All right, and Vic, you got 30, 45 seconds.
Big news in Coos Bay. We are getting an Arby's.
Yes.
Not sports related, but we're getting an Arby's. Woo. Don't have to drive to Cottage Grove to get an Arby's anymore. Yeah, thanks for watching. We appreciate it. Appreciate you guys. I won't be on Saturday. I'll be not tanked. I'll be sleeping because I like to nap. When you're old, you nap. It happens.
All right, and then
thanks for watching. Have a great week.
All right, and then Crispy Bacon.
Thank you guys for watching and interacting. Tomorrow there won't be any speak out, but we will be on with a NBA draft of the first round. So make sure to tune in for that.
Yes, it will be. We will actually be doing a. We will be doing a dual show. Actually, it's going to be us and MI6 doing one huge show. So you can catch it streaming on both sides. You'll see it on the Coast to Coast side and on the MI6 side. So I hope everybody has a fantastic night, and you can catch us tomorrow for our NBA draft show. So everybody have a great night, and we'll see you later.
$50 reward for a piece of J-Max beard.